This segment of Panther Sports Talk is brought to you by CFU, the power of service.
Last weekend, UNI President Mark Nook handed out diplomas to the softball team since they're on the road for games during the commencement ceremonies this weekend. Following up on the comments from the president we shared with you last week, here's more from UNI President Mark Nook.
You know, there's three things. The first is the reputation of this campus, this university. Excellent university, great academic standards. People are very proud of this institution. The athletics programs are great. The things that the arts do for this community, for the Cedar Valley, for northern and eastern Iowa are just phenomenal. The things we have at the Gallagher Blue Dorn. Some of those we didn't really know when we first applied, but it sure made it easy to decide that this was the right place. The other was, it's in Iowa. It's my home state, it's where I grew up. And Iowa has a real reputation, an earned reputation for excellence in education. And they put their money where their mouth is. They really do an excellent job of taking care of that next generation and making sure they've got the education and the skills, the habits of mind they're going to need to be leaders and to take over Iowa and continue to move it forward. So those are sort of the first two. The third was it got us 1,000 miles closer to our granddaughters, and that really was important. Family's a big deal, and the people of Iowa understand that. This is a state also built on family, and so the opportunity to be 5 hours away from our two of our children, two of our three children, and they each have a little girl, and two more on the way. So being close to those kids and grandkids was important to both of us. So it was a big part of our decision too. You know, one of the things that we're really looking at and cognizant of is that we're 9 years from our 150th anniversary, our sesquicentennial, and that's a big deal. It's something we need to celebrate, but it's also something we need to use as a marker. What do we want to be in that over that next 9 years? What do we want to accomplish? But more importantly, you know, too often I think with strategic planning and some of these anniversaries, we say, what do we want to accomplish between now and then? Put together 3, 5, 9-year strategic plans. What I'm really interested in having the faculty and the staff think about is where do we want to be 30 or 40 years from now? Where's higher education going? What's the role of what is the role we'd like UNI to have? What are the things we need to lay in place in the next 9 years so that this institution has an opportunity to be at that place 30 and 40 years from now, right? So instead of thinking about where we need to be in 9 years, we think, where do we need to be in 30? And what do we need to do in the next 9 so that we've laid that foundation for our future? You know, 9 years sounds like a long time. We've already been around 141. 9's pretty small, all right? So let's look out and kind of gather together, use our strategic plan. It's an excellent strategic plan. It's good for the next, it's kind of laid out for the next 5, but how do we start to kind of have a vision that's longer than that and lay out a roadmap? You know, we're starting to have some conversations with the whole university about where each of the pieces go, and athletics is certainly a part of that. We certainly want to at least maintain what we've got and be able to improve the caliber of what we're doing. I can't say enough about what David Harris is doing in leading Panther athletics. He brings that type of integrity, determination, real servant leadership, listens well to the coaches, to the athletes, to the faculty, to the other administrators, is a partner with the entire community on where Panther athletics, what it is, what it needs to be, and what it brings to the university. So I can't say enough about who we have sitting as our athletic director. And our coaching staff too is just excellent. So I think we've got the people in place to continue to look for a bright future in Panther athletics and have some discussions about what are the next phases, what are the things that we need to do to keep all of our programs competitive, whether that's from the women's swimming program to the football program to softball, it doesn't matter. How do we keep all of those programs moving forward and as competitive as possible and still performing well in the classroom and developing young people into great adults and business leaders?
We thank President Nook for his time to talk with Panther Sports Talk, and as he hands out more diplomas to student athletes, we thank all of our outgoing seniors that have given their all in their time as Panthers.